Alright, welcome back to the Quick Speed Shop, part 3 of the 37 Ford Resurrection. Saw in the first two parts, 1 and 2 up here, that rebuilt the water pumps, put 2 new water pumps in the 60 horsepower V8, and we also tried to get the car started and the fuel pump was leaking and I didn't have any fuel pressure from the back. So what I got today is a 6-volt electric fuel pump. Right now it's running on a boat gas tank, but if I have time, I've got another original good condition gas tank. I'm going to pull the tank out of this car, which is rotted through in the center, and put the good tank in it, hook it up, and hopefully we'll be running and driving down the road at the end of this video. So follow along, let's see what happens. Here we go. Alright, here we are in the car. I've got the fuel pump mounted to the frame rail here. I tried to use existing bolts like here, but the bracket didn't work out right, so I drilled a 5/16 hole in the frame, bolted the bracket down here. Here's the fuel line. It's actually a 1/4-inch fuel line, and the outlets for the pump are 5/16, but I tried the 1/4-inch hose, and it'll slip over here. If you lube it up with a little silicone spray, you can get it on over the 5/16 nipples. So if it was an issue, these are 1/8-inch MPT pipe thread. I could have got some 1/4-inch nipples for it, but it'll be alright. So you got the pump here. Oh, where's my hand? You got the pump here. Then you got a fuel filter that comes with the pump that's between the tank. This is the rear of the car back here. So what I'm going to do is cut the fuel line here, or probably here, put a flange on each side, a little bubble flare, just a little bubble in this so the hose has got something to grab onto, and you use rubber hose to connect the existing line on either side of here. This is a 6-volt pump, so the wires coming out here, the tan one is the positive wire, but this car is 6-volt positive ground, which means the positive wire goes to ground and the negative wire, the black wire, goes to the switched ignition power. I'll go ahead and I'll cut the line and get it spliced onto the fuel pump here, and then I'll put the wire on and run it up top, and I'll go under the dash and see what that looks like. Alright, so I cut the line. I used my flare kit to put a little barb on the end of this line. You can see this is 1/4-inch, this is 5/16 like I said. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the rear line here. My little cutters. We'll do the same thing. We'll use the flare kit to put a little barb on the end of this line. There we go. What I'm doing is just using the insert here and sticking it in there and just mushrooming over the line just a little bit. So first step is I put on this is the first step of a double flare. I'm just not doing the double flare. I'm just making a bubble flare. Aha, there we go. And we got a nice little barb on there that hooks up the hose very nicely. We'll go ahead and we'll get our 1/4-inch hose and we'll hook this right up. There we go. We got our connection made front and rear with a hose here. I used the clamps that came with the kit, which are these spring type clamps on the 5/16 barbs. They squeeze real tight because it's stretched. The hose is stretched over there, and then I used some hose clamps on here. But this should be good here. So we'll go ahead and we'll get the wires going, and we'll run the wires up to the ignition switch. We'll put a fuse in line. We'll go ahead up there and get the wiring. Alright, I got it wired up here. If you can see up here, where is it? Right there, where all the wires are coming off here. That's a resistor. They used to step the ignition down, but since I put a higher energy ignition in this, I don't use the resistor anymore. So it's just got a hot stud that all the ignition wires are going to. So I bugged off that with a fusible. I got a fuse right there, and I came down the wire. I ran it down the brake cable down under the car. The ignition switch is over here on the column. So when the switch is down, it's off, and when it's on, the power comes up here to these wires. So the ignition switch will run the fuel pump, so the fuel pump won't run when the ignition switch is off. Is what you want, so you can shut the ignition off and not have the fuel pump run. So I think we are ready to test it. Alright, it's a moment of truth. We're going to hit it and turn it on and see if it pumps fuel into the filter here. Here we go. Whoa, it's pumping! It's pumping like a son of a gun! I'd say that's a good test right there. Wow. This thing only pumps like 2.5 psi. That's plenty, so it should be fueling the fill bowl. I'm going to go ahead and try to fire the car up. First, actually I've got to tighten this hose clamp here I see is loose. Then I'll try to fire the car up. Stand by. Alright, the car is in neutral. Let's give her a go. I smell gas. I thought I heard it pop once when we first started. Oh. I'm gonna get a light here. Yeah, it's pumping. Try her again. Come on, baby! It's trying! It works! It works! Look at the smoke! The thing's a smoke show! I gotta get the garage door open before I die in here, but look at that, it works! That's awesome! I'm gonna go check for leaks now and open this garage door. go, a pretty successful test. I was able to drive down the road and running on most of the cylinders. I got a flooding issue, and then I think I fouled a couple of plugs because it would load up, be running on 5 or 6, then it would kind of get up to 8. But it's a lot better than it's been the last 2 years. At least it can run under its own power now. So I got to do some tweaking. I got to put the fan back on because I got a little warm running around without the fan on. But this was successful. The fuel pump works. I got fuel to the carburetor. I can fire the thing up and drive it. At least it does something that makes noise and it goes. So that's better than it's been doing in the last 2 years. So there we go. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Come back to the Quick Speed Shop. Hit the like button. Hit the alerts. And we'll see you again on the next project. I'm going to keep tinkering on this thing and see if I can get it dialed in to run even better. So I'll see you again at the Quick Speed Shop.